everyone, Eric and I will be sharing some tips on how you can powerfully start your first day of school with a lasting impact. So we have 6 tips for you. Number 1 is create a welcoming environment. Second is establish clear expectations. So it's all about setting procedures, rules, expectations. So how do you usually do it? Do you just present it in class?
It comes with some experience. So a lot of teachers like the students to be involved in that process where they say, oh, what do you want to learn? What kind of interests do you have? I'm a bit different. I feel like I know what's important for my students, but I'm going to try and make it fun for them too. So I usually go out and I tell the students, okay, guys, expectations-wise, this is the behavior I expect. If you don't do that, then this is going to happen. I also want to be clear on the rules, clear on what they're going to learn, and also how I expect them to work in class. So I'm going to tell them we're going to do lots of group activities. When you're in a group activity, I expect you to work together and everyone to pull their own weight. If you're in a pair, I want you to work with your partner, be respectful. So expectations have many different facets, and you want to cover them in that first class.
How about classroom rules? Like other teachers, they create a classroom contract where students participate. Do you do that?
No.
I don't know.
No, it takes up time. I'm against that, you know. Yes, we should listen to our students, but we are also the leaders in class, and we have to establish what we want. We don't have time to spend a whole class on writing down rules that they're just going to forget anyway.
Yeah.
So you're going to come up with the main rules anyway, so don't waste that time. Rather be a leader in class and say, guys, these are my rules. And I think it can be simple too. So it depends what you want. So you're going to go through what you expect when they walk into class, when they work with partners, transitioning between activities. You're going to want to have rules and procedures on homework. Where do they get it? If they're absent, if they feel sick, if they want to go to the restroom. You know, if another teacher comes into class, how are they supposed to behave? And I think so you can have these general rules, but below those general rules, you want exact procedures of what they need to do.
Okay. And will you just simply present that to the class? Or is there a fun way or less boring way to do that?
That's an interesting question. I usually present it to them, but I also explain to them why those rules are important. So I can't just say, okay, everyone, you know, when you're working, I want you to be quiet. I will say, listen, guys, we'll be working. There are 20 students in here. It's very difficult and it gets noisy if everyone's talking. So when you do your own work, I expect you to be quiet. And if you do want to speak to a friend or ask a question, either raise your hand to me or whisper to your friend. If it gets louder and now you're saying what will happen if they do this, you know, if or then, then I'm going to talk to you afterwards. So I think as teachers, we should also be very much almost like moms, you know, kind of lecturing us. It's a part that we need itself. But it raises an interesting question. How do you share rules and procedures in a fun way?
I had an experience wherein I have a sort of handbook for the rules, and then I grouped my students into 3 to 5 members and gave them around 5 to 10 minutes to read everything, coach each other, because I would tell them in advance that they'll have a quiz after that. So the quiz will be still from Kahoot, so I prepare the questions there. So it'll be a fun way for them to really study, to learn, and then check the others' handling. I do make sure that every time I flash a question, I would reinforce the rule to them, especially if it's very critical. Yeah.
I love that idea. You know, playing games with the rules. I think playing games that first day is important, those activities, because not only are they practicing it in a fun way, but you're also playing games with other partners, so you're getting to know each other too.
Yeah, and they're getting competitive, so they will really try their best to study and understand.
competition is healthy. We want our students to have fun competing with each other.
Yes, yes. But I really like what you said, that you explained to them why we have those rules. It's very important because whenever you have that situation, you can really go back to your first day and remind them about that.
Exactly, because the students will remember that why.
Yes.
And let's say a student, now, the thing is with rules is that you have to constantly check in on the students. You know, they're going to do small things at first to kind of challenge those boundaries. So you're going to want to check them and say, oh, do you remember that first day of school? This is the rule and this is why we're doing it. So this is what I expect you to do. And, you can say it with a smile, but you have to enforce those boundaries. So that's why we explain the why to it.
That's it.
What's next?
Number 3, get to know your students. How?
Breathe deep.